receiver, number 1, Dontae Fleming. Questions?
Dontae, can you talk about maybe this is an opportunity for you to pat yourself on the back, but just the offensive production where you all stand in the conference so far?
I mean, how we do it, we just really just bought into the process, just come to practice every day, and take it like it's a game. Cause I mean, if everybody on track, like I feel like nobody could really stop us. So I feel like we bought into the process, trusting the process with Coach Craddock have for us going into the game plan, and everybody just do their job.
When you think about the challenges of a short week, coming off that win in North Texas and then flipping the script to Charlotte so quickly.
I felt like we really adapted well to that short week, knowing that we just came from a game. I felt like everybody was bought into the process, and we just had to go. I mean, we just had to put a lot in, and everybody was focused in meetings and ready to play.
What's the hardest part about a short turnaround? Is it physical or mental?
I would say probably the mental part, because we have to strain more, and it just knowing that we just came from a game, our bodies all beat up, and we'll probably want to be in the training room. But I feel like the mental part is that's where it's at. That's where we have to lock in that.
When you see Charlotte's defense on film, what's maybe the biggest thing that's standing out?
Sure, they have a nice defense. I mean, they have nice players that's go fly around and get to the ball, and I feel like we have good players too. So I feel like we just got to go out there and just play our best.
How much pride in the group you guys take in your blocking? Because in North Texas, you guys didn't throw a whole lot, but receivers were still involved, helping Makai get his 195.
Right. I mean, like it's a brotherhood. Like you want to see your other brother succeed, and I feel like we took pride in that. Knowing, like even though we threw the ball 13 times, like it's football, so I felt like we took blocking. If you want the ball, you got to block, like Coach Summerall said. So, and then and another thing, just getting your brother in the end zone. That's what I felt.
Any other questions for him? Appreciate
Thanks.
it.
Yes, sir.
There, Jack. Any questions for Jack?
I think you led the team in tackles this game. Just, well, you guys have a lot of guys that can play, but how much more comfortable have you gotten as the years go on?
For sure. I mean, getting reps under your belt always gonna ease the anxiety a little bit. But I think early on it may have been like I know what I'm doing, but I'm not going as fast. But now I can play fast, and I know what I'm doing, and I think it's starting to show.
When you look at the Charlotte offense, I know that quarterback has a big arm. He could be erratic, but he has a big arm. What is the biggest concern for you guys on the defense?
Well, I mean, we just got to keep doing what we've been doing. We're not gonna change our game plan, but we got to stay on top of the routes. Big play, you got to keep a post player back there when we got those called, and just running with those guys, getting pressure up front. He's gonna have to hold on to it to get those deep balls off, and I think we got a good pass rush that can force him into making bad decisions.
To that point, I guess, especially since they played two QBs in this last game, what's maybe the biggest challenge of not knowing who it is and then kind of preparing for either option?
I mean, I think we're prepared for either one. We just know 15 has a big arm, so when he's in, the deep ball's real live, and he can hit any spot on the field. We know that for sure. And then with number one, they'll still take their shots, and he'll run the offense just as well.
With the short week, what do you feel like is the biggest challenge?
I mean, making sure everyone's ready to go for Thursday game. Being fresh, ready to run, put in the 600 yards, 6,000 yards you run a couple days ago, and then redo it again. I think that's the biggest concern is getting your body back ready to go.
And mentally, what is it like flipping the page that quickly?
I mean, that's how Summerall teaches us, to on to the next. So we don't usually look into the past too much, and I mean this week the only thing that changed is we had to practice on a Sunday, so that was pretty much it.
Coach Summerall thought toughness is one of his core values.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What does that mean to you, and what makes this team tough?
I mean toughness is in everything. So when we lift and you may not want to, you just got to be tough and get through it. You're tired, you got to be tough, get through it. It's really a mental thing rather than physically being tough. I mean, when you're mentally strong, not a lot of things can break you. So I think that's really what he tries to harp on.
This is such a new team, new coaching staff. You came in the spring. A bunch of guys came in after the spring. How did you guys develop that toughness quickly?
I mean, through our workouts, the gauntlet, just getting punched in the mouth those 2 games, Kansas State and Oklahoma. I think everyone kind of saw the potential we have, and I think that really brought us together, taking those losses early on.
Alex Bauman talked about the gauntlet the other day a little bit, but how tough was that, and how
I
much
mean,
was that behind you guys?
It's real difficult, waking up that early and getting yelled at, whistles blowing in your face. But I mean, once you get through it, you kind of realize how good it really was for the team and like the benefits it had.
What time did you have to get up?
I was up close to about 4:50 every morning.
That's rough.
You spent a lot of time there with the young guy in Kevin Adams, really going back to the Kansas State game and just kind of looking at your guys' ability to close games out from then to now. How much do you feel like that early playing time on task against quality opponents really helps you young guys grow in the secondary?
I mean, Coach Gass usually tells us, you're not young anymore. After the spring season, you're not a young guy anymore. And so I think me and Kevin have taken it on as it's like our job to come in and not lose a step or lose pace, because we can't afford to have a drop off in big games. And so I think we've just continued to raise the bar, and then the older guys in front of us have started letting by a good example, and so we're just able to keep that going.
You had 8 solo tackles, and one of those was saving a breakaway touchdown. How important is really just that effort, but also the tackling technique, and where did you really kind of learn to be such a pound-for-pound tackler?
I mean, somebody's got to do it. So, it's really just bringing your arms with you. I know a lot of people like to throw a shoulder in there. I mean, I get caught throwing shoulders every now and then, but we really focused on bringing your arms last week, and it really paid off. Keeping guys from breaking away and stuff like that.
And that kind of earlier time in those games, do you feel like that helped with the speed of North Texas's offense and you guys really being able to match them in the secondary?
Oh yeah. We're able to change what should have been a 25-yard gain to a 10-yard gain. That saves an extra set of chains, and that gives our defense some time to really know what's coming up next. A fresh set of chains. We kind of have an idea of what they're going to go to next, but with the fast tempo, we're all focused on really getting lined up, and that's really when they catch us, out of position.
How important is just having like a veteran leader like Bailey Despaney be your other counterpart out there besides Kevin Adams, and how much have you kind of learned from him?
His experience is something you can't teach. He's able to help me even on the field, to let me know, alert me of things that he thinks may be coming. And even if it doesn't happen, it stays in the back of my head, and I'm able to make plays going forward from things he's helped me on.
And then just lastly, do you feel like the iPads have made a difference in your guys' ability to really learn in games and kind of see things on the field?
Oh, for sure. We're on the iPad as soon as we get off the field. You can see literally the play you were on seconds ago, and I think that really helps because, especially this week for sure, they're a type of team that likes to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of deal. So, if it's working for them, they're going to come back to it. Getting able to see the play right there in front of you and then make the corrections right there, I think it really helps for sure.
What do you think of Tyler Grubb's hit? The one.
I didn't get to see the replay. On first thought, I wasn't too sure. And then I heard the celebrations, and I knew he was good. And then I watched it back after, and he led with his arms. It was clean.
Stepping away from the field here, hearing that Patrick is now back with the team, how has this team rallied against him in his loss?
There's nothing but love for Pat, on and off the field. He's a great guy, great leader. He's humble. It really hurt. It hurt all of us to hear the news, and he does our breakdown for our defensive meetings, so it felt kind of off the whole week really without him being there. But you can really feel his presence back, whether he's like maybe not the biggest vocal leader, but just him being in the room has really changed the morale for sure.